Hi guys, this is a training on our integrated and broadcasting management system that we use to manage our content production and administration, sales and marketing and other functions. And for us to access it, we will put it on a common server whereby we can be able to access it on our specific machines. For instance, I'm going to use this machine, though the file is located on a common server. You open your Windows Explorer, then under Networks, you identify a computer called server which is located on this network. You open it, then we have two folders. We have Ibms system and users. You open Ibms system, then you'll see our integrated broadcasting and management system named Ibms system. So you open it, it's going to open a login screen. This is our login screen, which prompts you to fill in your username and your password. You use your password. For this case, let me use mine. In case you enter password and you click on login and it tells you incorrect username or password, it actually means that what you have to do is that you check your credentials, then retype your password, then when you click on login, when you have provided the correct credentials, you'll be able to log in. Now today we are going to look at how to use a broadcasting system specifically for content production. So we have four menus on our first screen. The first screen is broadcasting. We have management. The first menu you have broadcasting, and the second one is management. We also have governance, system administration. Content production is under broadcasting. So you're going to choose option number 1, which is broadcasting. Then we have free to air, podcast and transmedia. Free to air basically is where we do our content production, the programming schedule and the content editorial. So we're going to choose option number 1. Today we are going to narrow down to content production. Therefore we just choose option number 1, which is content production. So here we have 5 items. The first item is program schedule preparation. The second item is program production plan, and you have content production, the actual content production, which is option number 3. You have content editorial and content production resources. Okay, for us to be able to come up with a new programming schedule, we are going to use our option number 1, which is program schedule preparation. You just click on it, then it will be able to open. Now, option number 1 under schedule preparation is you create a new production schedule, which allows you to enter a new programming schedule. You may have an existing. Maybe you want to enter a new. Maybe let's say you have you want to achieve 4 schedules per year. Maybe every quarter has got its own programming schedule. You can be able to use option number 1 to achieve that. Option number 2 is maintain existing schedule, which allows you to make changes to the schedule that you've created using option number 1. Then after there we have a set of reports that allows us to know the amount of content that is required by region, by schedule and by individual. Then we can also be able to view the existing programming schedules under option number 6. Now I'm going to demonstrate how we can create a new programming schedule by clicking on option number 1, create new programming production schedule. This is the screen that opens up. Now this screen allows you to enter the details of a new programming schedule, starting from the date, the schedule version and the quarter version. And After you filled in the date and the schedule in the quarter version, you are going to assign this specific program to the head office and the regional. Suppose you want a specific staff to be in charge of this program. Under head office, you're going to click on the drop down menu, then you select a code, or rather you can just type in the code. We have references down here under staff codes. You can click on it to see a reference where you can be able to check. For instance, you want a code number 010, you can be able to see the name and the position in the company. So the next thing you're going to do is now you set the day. Microsoft Access takes day 1 as Sunday. Therefore, if you want to input a programming schedule for Sunday, you're going to use day code number 1. For day code number 6, just calculate if Sunday is optional day number 1, then Monday is day number 2, then Tuesday is number 3, right? Number 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So on so forth. Then you are going to enter our as the program code for a specific program. For this case, 220 is for DWT, and in case that the program that you want to set, or rather the program that you want to enter here is a flagship program that has got a list of other programs beneath it, you can use the subcode. For this case, we are not using a subcode, so you choose the title of the program. For this case, you just click on this drop down list, then you will see a list of all programs here. You can be able to choose the one that you want, then you set whether it's fresh or repeat. Just click on this drop down list, then you'll be able to choose from there. Then you enter the start time, the end time. The start time, the specific time at which the program starts going on air, or rather is aired, and the end time is the time at which that program ends. Once you've done that, on top here we have our navigation bar. You can go to next, previous, the last record, and the first record. The first record and the last record. Then you can save a new, meaning that you're just going to save the record that you've entered and create an empty one. See, like that one. You have it there. Assume those errors. So you'll be able to fill in another schedule. That's it. Any question up to there?
No.
Okay. Then once we've done that, we have a production apportionments right here. You can click on this button called production apportionments. If you want to set the amount of content that should come from head office and the one that should come from the regional. For instance, when you click on it, it opens up this screen that allows you to say this Humusome, which is code 010, you want it to be produced 100% from the head office and 0% from the regional. Then you choose the scheduled versions that you want these apportionments to affect. For instance, you might say that you want Humusome to be produced 50% from the head office and 50% from the regional. Just key in 50% from the head office and 50% from the regional. For us, we're using currently we're using 100 from the head office and 0 from the regional. So I'll just set them back to how they were. Then you can be able to generate an apportionment report. This is it, which shows the program code, the title, and the percentage that is supposed to be produced from the head office and the percentage that is supposed to be produced from the region. Okay, The next thing is maintain existing schedules, which allows you to make changes to the schedule that you've entered. This is the Outlook. Okay, you can be able to adjust the layout by dragging this divider. Here you just drag it. You can lift it up or drag it down. Basically, it's the same as the other screen, only that it allows you to make changes to the schedule that you've created. You just close it. Then you'll be able to view content requirement by schedule report. When you click on this drop down list, you'll be able to see a list of content requirements depending on the schedules that we have. Currently we are using a schedule 3 version 1, which is at the bottom here. You just click on it and you will be able to see the amount of content, fresh content that we need weekly, monthly and quarterly. It's calculated in hours. For you to be able to make it bigger, you just click on the print preview button down here on the bottom right. Then you'll be able to view it in print preview. You can be able to zoom it. Under zoom, you can set it to 150 or 200. Then you can close the print preview. You can also be able to view content requirement by region report. This is a report that shows us how much content do we require from the head office and how much do we require from the regions. After that, you can be able to view content requirement by region report, which shows you the amount of content that is required to be produced from each region and from the head office. Just click on the drop down list, then you click on content production by region. This is the report that shows you how this content has been distributed across the head office and the regional, and also the 4 regions in Western Kenya. For instance, we have Mwisome. Quarterly we need 168 hours and it's produced entirely, 100% from the head office. Therefore the regions are going to produce 0, 0, 0 each. However, for the case of a program like Avana Bamombo, we need 24 hours and the head office we are producing 20 hours, and out of these 24 hours, head office are producing 20% and the region is producing 80%, meaning that head office will produce 5 hours, then Busia 4 hours, Bungoma 5 hours, Vihiga 3 hours, Kakamega 7 hours. After that, we can be able to view content requirement by individual report, whereby we have Bungoma County Work Plan, Busia County Work Plan and Kakamega County Work Plan and head office. For you to be able to view, for instance for Kakamega, you just click on Kakamega and then you'll be able to see what is required from Kakamega. For instance, we have code 030 Avana Bamombo. We expect 25 minutes from Bungoma County, and 040, which is Incredible Western, 16 minutes, so on and so forth. You can now be able to display an existing programming schedule, the schedule that you entered on option number 1. You can view it at option number 6. Just click on it, then weekly programming schedule. You click on this, then you choose a schedule. For this case, we are using schedule 3, so you just click on it, then you'll be able to see your current programming schedule, starting from Sunday all the way to Saturday. That's under program schedule preparation. Then option number 2, we have program production plan. This option allows us to come up with a production plan for a whole quarter. When you click on it, it has two options: create a content production plan and view content production plans. Option number 1 allows you to enter 12 themes for a specific program. The topmost thing is our navigation bar, which allows you to navigate through the records: the first record, the last record. You can save and create a new record. You can print. You can go to the next record and the previous record. Then you can set the program code, the subcode, choose the program name from this drop-down list. Then choose the scheduled versions, the period and the year. Then you can also assign the person who is responsible for this schedule, both head office and regional. Then you type in the themes for each week. For instance, we have 12 weeks in a quarter. So week 1 you'll give it a program, a theme. Like for this case, this was a Kamadala. Week 1 you have Luya Foods. It's required to be produced by 6th. Then the broadcasting date, you also input it here, and the resources required. Then you can generate the report by clicking on generate report here. Just click on it. Then you can key in the year of production, which is for this case is 2022. Enter quarter version. The quarter version, let's say, is 03. And the program code is 070. Once you get your data correct, you'll be presented with this report that shows you what is supposed to be produced from week 1 to week 12, and the approximate dates when the content is required, when the program is to be aired. Today you can be able to view the production, the content production plans, which is the same report as you've entered. You just key in the year of production, then you enter the quarter version, and then you enter specific program code. Then you'll be able to present it with the same report. Once you give in the actual data, you'll be able to see a populated report. After that, you have option number 3, which is content production. When you click on content production, now this is where the actual content is being produced. We receive the content that has been produced both from the head office and from the regional. Then you can be able to make changes on it, which is option number 2. After that, we can be able now to see a set of reports, which is head office content production performance report, regional content production report, the regional content production performance reports, and of course the content storage report. So option number 1, we are going to click on content delivered and receipt. Now this allows us to register the content that has been produced both from the head office and the regional. The first thing, we are going to key in the staff details, or rather the producer's details, the person who has been responsible for production of this program. Staff details here. You enter their staff ID, then the name and the region ID. In the program details, you're going to enter the program code, the program name, the story that was covered, then the size in MBs, the size in minutes, the time in hours, time that was spent during the production of that program, the serial number of that program, and the day of production, the day in which you received it at the head office. Then tab number 3, we have location of production, where you key in the actual location where this specific program was produced. This is head office. Then the storage location where this data is stored. You can use the navigation bar on top here to go to the last record, to the first record, to the last record. You can save and create a new record. You can print. can go to next and previous. You can also create a duplicate using this duplicate button. Then you can close it. After that, you're going to click on maintain content delivered receipt. If at all you want to make changes to whatever you've entered, you just click on it. It's the same screen that opens up, and it allows you to make changes to the fields that you've created on the first screen. After there, you're going to view reports, head office content production performance reports. It's a combo box that allows you to see a drop down of reports. For instance, if you want to view a report for code staff code 030, you can just choose, rather click on 010, and you'll be able to see the production report. This report shows the staff name, then the program code, the title of that program, and the minutes that are supposed to be produced in that week, and the amount of content that has been produced, and the variance and the percentage of that variance. This is the variance amount, and this is the variance performance percentage. It also shows you the monthly performance, the amount of content that is supposed to be produced per month, and what has been produced, the variance amount and the variance performance. The same for quarterly. After that, we are also going to look at regional content performance report. It's also a combo box. When you click on it, it shows you content production by location and regional content production reports. For instance, let's choose on regional content production report. It prompts you to enter a date, let's say 1st of January 2022 to up to date today's on. Okay, let's say 30th of August 2022. So this report shows you all the content that has been produced within that period, and it's a general report that shows you all the content producers both in head office and in the regions. You can also be able to view regional content production performance reports that shows you what was expected, the work plan vis-a-vis the productions. You click on this combo box, and then you choose a specific county in which you are interested to view the report. Let's say for Bungoma, just click on Bungoma, then you'll be able to see the report.
Moses Kuria anauma kofi Mombasa.
So this is a report that shows how content production has been done across the county and the programs. This one shows specifically for Bungoma the content that is supposed to be produced per week, per month, and per quarter, and what has been produced, and the variance amount and the variance percentage. Red means alert, something needs to be done on it. Amber means the content produced is almost there, and green means that he's doing good, rather the person producing this content has overproduced. The next thing that we're going to look at is content storage report, which shows you the content that has come in from the region, or from the head office, where has it been stored. So when you click on option number 6, which is content storage report, you'll be able to see a list of programs, rather content that has come in and where it has been stored. These are weekly report, which filters content that has been brought in by week. So it will only show you the content that has come in the current week. However, for you to be able to view a monthly report, we have a button on your top right here, view monthly report. When you click on it, you'll be able to see all the content that has been brought in within the current month. So this report shows you the program code, the program name, the story that was covered, then the size in MBs, the duration in minutes, the date on which it was received, the device on which it's stored, the file name, how it's saved on that device, and the file path, where the specific folders and file names, how it has been saved on that location. You can also be able to view a summary. You can be able to view a summary of these details by clicking on this summary button, which shows you this Ubuntu key, 2 GB was bought in, which is 60 minutes. You can search for a specific program using the code. For instance, when you have this monthly report which is having a lot of data, and you want to narrow down to, let's say, your Ubuntu key, you can just search by program by clicking on this button, search by program. Then you enter the program code for Ubuntu key is 060 then you click on OK. It's going to filter for you the content that you need. If you refresh that, you can be able to search for a different program. Let's say a Makeni 050. It shows we've not stored the data currently, but I know the data is there. If you search for a different program, let's say Ubuhana Bo Africa, also is not showing us because it has not been filled in yet. But once you fill in your data, it will be able to show up. Option number 7, we have planned content editorial update. Option number 7, basically what it does is that this content that has come in on option number 1 is updated on option number 7 automatically, which allows you to now assign an editor in the name of that editor and fill in estimate dates on when you want this editing to start, or when the editing is supposed to be completed, and then proposed broadcasting date. Again, we have the navigation bar on your top. You can be able to go to the first record, go to the last record, go to next and previous. You can print this data, then click on save and new. However, under program details, these are going to be automatically updated from the first screen. Whenever content comes in, you register it on content receipt, it will show up here for you to assign it an editor in the name of that editor and fill in these estimate dates. After there, you can be able to view planned content editorial update. A planned content editorial report, which prompts you to enter the starting date. Let's say is in 1st of January 2022 up to 30th of August 2022. This is a report that shows you the content that has been planned to be edited. Then option number 1 shows you a report of content that has not yet been planned for editing.
Option number 1 am I?
Yes, that's option number 9. It shows you a list of content that has not yet been planned to be edited. Once you plan, it updates itself from this list to planned content editorial report. Okay, that's about content production. Now after content production, we move on to the next step, which is option number 4, content editorial. Under content editorial, now this is where the actual editing takes place. You can be able to enter the details of program. Well, first of all, we have a list of 3 items here. We have editorial performance update, and we have monthly content editorial report and weekly content editorial report. Option number 1 allows you to enter the details on when specific program was edited, or the final details of that program. For instance, we have for Butuki code 060, the story that was covered, and the serial number and the date that was received, on which this content was received, size in minutes, and the size in MBs. What we are going to do here is that we are going to fill in the actual dates when this data was edited. For instance, actual dates, we have start, completion, and broadcast. What this means is you key in the date on which an editor started working on this work, and let's say today. Then this editor completed this work today, so under completion you select today. Then you set in the broadcasting date, which means which translates to the date on which this content is going to be aired on TV. So you click on this date picker, and you also assign it a day. Maybe it's going to be aired tomorrow, so you choose tomorrow's date. Then you fill in what's the actual size after editing. You say that if it was if the raw content was 20 or 60 minutes and you have edited it and it has come to maybe 50 minutes, just key in 50 minutes. The raw content was 2 GB. What's the actual duration in MBs? So you put there the actual size in MBs. Let's say it's now 1.5 GB. Just key in 1.5 GB. Then you key in the details of the editor, the person who edited it, this content. Let's say Butuki is edited by code 101. Then you choose the staff name. You can pick it from this drop down list. Then where this content is stored in subfolders. If it has already been uploaded to YouTube, you can provide its online link, date on which it was uploaded, and how it's named on YouTube or any other platform. What you need to know is that the program details are automatically updated from the content receipt, so you don't need to make any changes here. In fact, it's locked. You can't edit it from here. If you want to make any changes of these program details, you go back to content receipt. After you've done that, you check this checkbox, which allows you to, if indeed this content is edited, you check it. If it's not edited, just leave it unchecked. And you save your work.
How do you save?
Let's save by using this button on the top left.
Okay.
And you close. Then you can now be able to view a report. Let's say monthly content editorial report. When you click on it, you'll be able to see the content that you've edited, the program code and the program name, the story that was covered, when it was produced, when it was edited, and the initial size in MBs. For instance, Obutuki was 2 GB. After editing, it was 1.5 GB. We've discarded 500 MB, which amounts to 33% of the original work. Then we also have the initial size in minutes. It was 60 minutes. After editing, it was reduced to 50 minutes. We've discarded 10 minutes, which amounts to -20, or rather 20% of the final work. Then you can also be able to view what a specific individual staff has been able to edit in a week. Let's say, in a month. let's say you want to check what code 103 has edited. You just click on view individual report and you key in the editor code, for instance 103, and then you'll be able to see what code 103, editor code 103 has been able to edit for that month. Yes, that's about content editorial performance. After there, option number 5 is content production resources. Here you are able to enter program panelist register, expert resources register, then copyright register, and program assessment register. However, before you go there, is there any question from program schedule preparation, program production plan, content production, and content editorial?
Maybe you can maybe on the side of content production resources. Yeah?
Yes.
If you can repeat it again.
We've not it on this one. So I was asking if there's any question.
Oh, on the 4 I have no question.
Okay, so we good on the first 4. Okay. Option number 5 is content production resources, which allows us to enter our panelist register, expert resources, copyright register, and program assessment register. If you have your panelists who come to give views on your program, you're going to save the details under option 1, which is program panelist register. When you open it, you can be able to add a new resource person, view resource persons list, and view resource contact details. So if you click on add new resource person, it opens up this window that allows you to fill in the names of your panelists and the date on which they attended, the first name, their last name, the ID, company in which they work, the job title, and the programs in which they participate. Are they regular or not? In their email address, their web page. So you fill in all these details. Then you can be able to use the navigation bar on top here to go to the next, previous. You can be able to close this and save and create a new panelist. You can now be able to view panelist register from here. All these are panelists that we have. There you can be able to see their contact details, which shows their numbers. It's arranged in alphabetical order. The same happens for expert resources register. When you click on it, you can be able to add new expert resource, and you can key in the details from here. Then you can be able to print a list of those experts. Option number 3, you have copyright register. When you click on it, it's going to take you to a screen where you'll be able to input, or rather fill in copyright details. Once we've connected it, then option number 4, we have program assessment register. Now this one, when you open it, it gives you 4 options. Option number 1 is program presentation assessment form, which is basically a form that you fill to assess how a specific host and the panelists have presented themselves during the show. First of all, you give it a number, then the program ID, which is the program code, and then the program title, person ID, which that's the host and the host's name. Then we have a set of questions that are outlined here. We have from preparation to presentation to organization and post-presentation. For instance, the first question here is, are objectives and scope of the program defined? You can score that, maybe 3/4. Just key in, maybe 4/4 or 3/4 or 2/4 or 1/4, depending on how you assessed the program.
Even there's a after program.
Yes. No, this preparation, then you have organization, you have presentation and post-presentation. Yes.
So before the program, after the program.
Yes. For instance, this presentation, does the host depict natural voice, intonation and clarity? If yes, you check this box, then provide the evidence, support your why yes and why, and I mean you give them a score out of 5. Maybe you give them 3, 2, 1, 5, not 6/5. Once you are done with that, you just close. Then you can be able to view a report that shows you the same. This report gives you the marks of a specific person that you've been marking in quotes. Then you have a program presentation form. This one now shows how a specific program has been conducted, the sources that were consulted during the discussion, and the panelists. For instance, we have sources consulted. You give your sources. For instance, if you are talking about dowry, where did you get your facts? So you state your sources, maybe Google or whatever, YouTube videos. Then issues identified, issues to be discussed. Then you now select your panelists. Your panelist 1, their name, their qualification and their expertise. Have they been vetted, yes or no? After there, you'll be able to view a report of the same. Yes, okay, that's under content production. Any question up to there?
I have no question.
So can we confirm that you've understood, please?
Yes.
Okay, I hope.
I second. Maybe questions zinakuja later.
Derek, have you understood?
Yes.
Fortunately, he's not in the meeting. Okay. So that's it for today. We were checking. We've been training on specifically broadcasting, and to be specific on broadcasting, content production, and editorial.
Okay.
So we've been able to create a programming schedule. Rather, we've learned how to create a programming schedule, how to view the existing programming schedule, how to view reports for content requirements, the work plans. Then we have been also able to see the content that has come in, the capture screens, the reports, and the content performance reports, content storage, and content editorial.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.